What is up guys, and I do hope you're well. Today we are tackling Tales from Tech Support. Thank you for being here as always. If you are new, please consider hitting that like, the subscribe button and maybe that notification bell. I cannot tell you how much it helps a small channel like mine get involved. So with that being said, let's get straight into the stories and I hope you have a great day. This story is from Z80org. I want one too. I was told this deserves its own posting instead of being a comment. Mods, please delete if this is a bad idea. About 25 years ago, I was a junior PC tech at a company and one of the sales guys needed a new monitor for his PC. No big deal, I unpack a new one and install it. About an hour later, another salesperson calls me and says he wants a new monitor too. I walk over to his desk and check his current monitor and there's nothing wrong with it. I talk to him and explain that I cannot replace it because there's nothing wrong with it. Now, I like this guy, he's a star salesman and also a very nice guy. Rare combination, I know. So I tell him that if the monitor were to break for any reason, wink wink, I will replace it. He nods, says he understands, and I walk back to my desk, waiting to hear that the sales guy accidentally knocking his monitor over and down to the floor. 20 minutes later, the sales manager walks into my office and is angry and starts yelling about me not supporting his boys. I explain the policy and ask him to take it to management if he has a problem with it, and if there's any change in the policy I would happily replace the monitor for the sales guy. Sales manager walks away and says he will take it to the CEO. 1 hour later, the CEO, the sales manager and the sales guy walks into my office and want to straighten things out. I'm 21 or 22 at the time and it's my first job, so I'm way out of my league here, but I stand my ground and point to the policy and ask the CEO to grant an exception if he wants to go against his own rules, but also explain that if we change the policy or break it, we have a staff of 250 people who would all like new monitors for their PCs. CEO chews on that for a minute and turns to the sales guy and asks, "Why do you want a new monitor? Is there anything wrong with the monitor he already has?" Sales guy says, "No." CEO looks confused and asks, "What then?" Sales guy looks a bit ashamed, like a small kid who just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar and says, "Well, the other guy got a new one." CEO looks mildly amused and annoyed at the same time. Not sure he swung that, but it was a feat to watch for sure. And just says to the sales guy, "Grow up kid, you get a new monitor when the IT says you're getting one." He turns to the sales manager and says, "You, my office, now." I later got an email from HR asking if I want a one-time bonus as paid leave or in cash, adding a note from the CEO where he thanked me for doing a great job. This was not common at this company where the CEO was feared, to say the least. Our next story is from Puke Forest. Pressing the power button for users is now IT's responsibility. Hi, back with another story. Wow, legitimately did not expect to still be in this job. I was so close to being out of here I could taste it. I had a soft verbal offer from a hiring manager for an information security position that, as of yesterday, HR informed me that they chose to go with someone else at the last minute. Drat. Oh well, my loss is your gain. Here's a new story. Not a big drama fest, but a groaner nonetheless. Here we go. Special parts are needed for several computer labs to be in compliance with federal requirements. I have to be a bit circumspect about this, but parts have been on order for weeks. They arrived this morning of the last possible day we have to change over. I have had 6 directors breathe down my neck for weeks about getting this done. I nearly memorised the tracking numbers at this point. After receiving the parts and taking them to said computer labs 7 buildings away, I informed via email all management that I was taking care of this very dire issue on the last possible day before compliance cutoff. Estimated 5 hours to run all necessary wiring across multiple labs. So, picture me on a ladder running wiring in rafters and hear radio chatter and "Got him!" by security of the lab I was working in. Yes, I was being escorted once again back to the head office for a mysterious computer issue. It must be huge. Apparently, site director themselves commanded security to pull me away from this time-sensitive project. 20 minutes later, we arrive at the office in question. The user says, "Hi Puke Forest, my scanner doesn't work." I press the power button, the scanner starts up. "Try it now." The user skeptically feeds paper in, and it whirs. "Oh, that seems to have fixed it." Me, clenching teeth. Please remember that little trick from now on. I had a strongly worded email in draft for site director, but I deleted it. Man, you should have sent that. People shouldn't get away with that kind of thing. It's stupid. Our next story is from Mr. Computer Man. Ticket: can you remove these ugly box things from under our desks? I received a ticket from a company we provide IT infrastructure and support to. The company is a marketing company with specific requirements and budget, so there was no going away from tower PCs. One day I received a ticket from their department manager, asking me to remove the ugly boxes as they don't need them. I decided to call and explain about the boxes. Me, DM, department manager, DM's boss. Me on the phone. Hello, IT support, me speaking. DM said, oh good, you're calling to arrange collection. I would like the boxes collected in precisely 1 hour as we're going to a conference later. We're talking about disconnecting about 40 PCs. I say, no, I'm not calling to schedule a meeting but to explain that if we remove these boxes, you won't be able to use the computers. DM said, do you think I'm stupid? No, I'm just explaining that you won't be able to use your computer without your computer being connected to the screen. What are you talking about? I don't look under my table to use a computer. Look, you obviously don't know what you're talking about. I want to talk to someone who knows about IT. Oh, I also want your first name and surname so I can make a complaint. I say, my name is me. I'm not giving you my surname for data protection, and I do know what I'm talking about. Trust me, if you remove the actual computer, the box you're referring to, you won't be able to use the computer. DM, watch the space, and slams the phone down. I close the job documenting everything. A week's gone by and we get an emergency call out stating that none of their computers are working. We arrive to find that all computer towers have been cut free from their cages and removed. I said, what's happened to all the towers? I told you to watch the space. I got a professional team to remove the boxes. See, it is possible. No, I don't see. Now you can't use the computers. What a load of nonsense. Just get the internet working so we can use the computers again. No, what happened to the computers? Are you stupid or something? They're here, referring to the monitors. Okay, what happened to the boxes? They took them to the skip. Right, you're telling me that they threw away leased computers which are worth $1,300 each. I want to speak to your boss, now. He's in a meeting. Get him now, this is very serious. Okay, DM's boss says. First you refused to do a job, and now you pull me out of a meeting. Where are the computers, by the way? DM threw them all away. We need to get them back now as they had sensitive data on them. DM's boss, where are the computers? You mean the boxes? Yes! They're heading to the skip. We drove to the skip, but there was no record of these computers being brought in. 2 weeks later, the company suffered a data breach, which along with a damage bill, caused the company to go into administration. Edit, it was escalated. I didn't write much about what happened because the entire situation was dealt with by my boss's boss, who wasn't providing much information. I'm told that DM was arrested and that all computers were retrieved by the police, but that's where my knowledge ends. And this story is from the Help Desk Hero. Request denied. First time poster here, but a long time lurker. I work in a moderately sized company where we have both internal employees and contractors at client sites. My job is about what you'd expect. Fix the issues as they come in, image and set up machines, and deal with standard BS mixed in. I've been there for a few years now and have some great stories. This one comes from the beginning of the year when a new user thought he could game the system for a better machine. We're about a 50-50 split in PC and MacBooks. The machines that each user gets are very similar in specs. The determination of what machine they get is based on the client and their position. Of course, PC users who don't like PC will do what they can to get a MacBook, only to get denied. We also get a MacBook users who want upgrades to newer systems, citing slow systems and needing the latest and greatest to get their work done that magically gets done anyways. That brings us to the user at the center of my story today. This happened just after Apple released the latest MacBook Pros with the atrocious touch bar and butterfly keyboard that I loathe. Naturally, we get a dozen or so requests the next day, all of which are marked with the same response. Request denied, your machine is within our lifespan and still under warranty. Both PC and Macs have a 4-year lifespan. When the lifespan expires, we upgrade as inventory allows. Naturally, we get a few users who show up to try and plead their case in person, and I turn them away. Then I get our specific users who won't take no for an answer. We'll call him Mike. Mike is a diva. Mike will always go out to bat for himself, props himself up and complain every step of the way. He's a good developer, but he's not as good as he says. According to the guys that work with him, for some reason, Mike looked at that touch bar MacBook and determined he had to have it. Going on and on about how the touch bar functionality is suddenly vital to his job. Spoiler, it isn't, and he should be able to order one. Request denied, your machine is within our lifespan and still under warranty. Copy, paste, close. Mike was in my office within 10 minutes. Mike said, "Help desk hero, why did you reject my ticket?" "Because your machine is only 2 years old, you don't need a new one." "But my machine has been really slow the last month and I think I should get an upgrade." "Where's your ticket for the slow system?" "I'm too busy to deal with your ticketing system." "Then I can't help you if I don't know there's a problem." Mike stormed out the office after more whining. I wasn't stupid though. He wasn't going to give up. I went ahead and reopened his request ticket and updated it with our conversation in my office. A week later, a ticket comes in. MacBook has a broken screen. Yep, it was Mike's. Mike included a picture of the broken screen in the ticket to help me out, of course. Sure enough, half the screen was unusable. Before I can even reach out to him, he's in my office with a MacBook. He's doing his best to look upset. "So, how did it break, Mike?" "I'm not sure. I walked away for a little to use the bathroom, came back, and it was broken." "Screens just don't blow up like this, Mike. Something had to have happened." "I don't know what happened, help desk hero. It wasn't my hill to die on just yet. But I told him to give me a bit to see what our Apple Care coverage included. He disappeared as I pulled it up, confirming that we got a discount on accidental damage, but it wasn't fully covered. Just about everything else was. A quick call to Apple Enterprise Support confirmed it wasn't going to be cheap to replace, somewhere around $700 with our discount. I got to my boss and told him the whole situation. Of course, I can't prove he was the one who broke the screen, and he's going to at least need a loaner before we decide what to do. My boss said, "What do we have in our inventory?" "We're pretty tight right now, just a couple available. We have a pending quote for our restock and their new models." "Do we have any other machines?" Before I answered, it dawned on me. We had older MacBooks, you know, the really fat ones with a disk drive still in them. The ones that at this point were about 6 years old and we kept for emergencies. Boss had the same idea and we shared a laugh. Boss said, "Go and get one of the fat Macs. Image that and don't tell him it's just a loaner. Let's let him sweat." Mike came back not long after I told him what we were deciding to do about his machine, but I would at least let him get a loaner for the time being. Mike somehow twisted this around into hearing that he was getting a new machine. Mike said, "Okay, when you order a new one, I need more than 16 gigs of memory. I need 32 gigs and a stronger processor. Oh, and a 1TB SSD. Thanks, help desk hero." Before I could even break the news to him, he was gone. "Oh hell no, you did not just do that." I took great pride in imaging that fat MacBook. I got everything ready for it, messaged him that the loaner was ready for pickup. He came upstairs and almost fainted when he saw his temporary machine. "I can't use this." "Yes you can, log in." Mike said, "This machine is so old." "But it has a fresh image on it, so it should run faster than your other machine, right?" After going through his setup, he stormed out the office. It wasn't long before his boss showed up wanting to know what the hell was going on. After a quick explanation and showing him the broken MacBook, he just sighed and shrugged. He asked if we were going to give him a new machine. I told him he wasn't getting rewarded for breaking a company asset, but I'd get a replacement that matched the one he broke. His boss agreed and let it die. Apple got the repair done pretty fast and I messaged Mike to come pick it up. He was in my office so fast, ready to throw the fat MacBook out the window. Much to his disappointed and to my delight, he saw the old machine ready to go with a brand new screen. "But that's my old machine." "Yes, Apple got the repair done pretty fast. All your data was saved so you can do a quick swap." "But that's not what I requested." "And your request was denied. That didn't change." Mike took the machine and left. I wiped the old machine and tucked it away. A couple of weeks later, we got a shipment of new MacBooks in but didn't tell anyone about it. Around that time, a ticket came in for new users to join the same team Mike was on. I made sure those new users got 2 shiny new MacBooks because I am that petty. After they went through their setup, they made their way to the area they worked. A few minutes later, a ticket came in. Yes, it was from Mike. "New employees have updated MacBooks on our team. I feel I should have one as well as a senior employee." I shrugged. "Request denied. Your machine is within our lifespan and still under warranty." Copy, paste, close. That is my kind of petty. This story is from The Lightning Count. You need to stop using your laptop right now as your battery is dangerously close to blowing out. So browsing through the ticket queue this morning and came across a fun looking one that I just had to pull. IT, I need help. Hello IT, this is user at branch and my laptop needs repair. It's suddenly separated from itself. I've included a picture, please advise. PS, the laptop is really hot. The picture she produced was a laptop that had the top part where the keyboard was separated from the bottom part. I think to myself, that's interesting. Oh no, yeah, that's the thermal expansion of the battery. I call her up, no answer. Call her cell number, no answer. I called her boss. The boss says, it's a wonderful day at our company. This is boss. How may I assist you? I say, hello, this is me at the IT support team. User contact us about a laptop issue. Yes, she's currently with a client. I will have to call you right back. She hangs up and I call back. This is boss. This is me again. It's an emergency and I need to speak with the user immediately. She's with a client and I will... The picture sent us of a thermal expansion of the battery and it's in danger of catching fire. Look, she's busy with a client and her laptop can catch fire. I'm not joking. It is vital her computer is turned off this very instant and unplugged. I highly doubt that. Okay, well, I gave you the warning. If the battery does blow out, I will point at this recorded phone call when HR has questions. You're serious? Yes. I wanted to say, duh, hoy. The boss shouting out her door. User, hey, I have IT on the phone. I need you in my office now. She puts me on speakerphone. Tell her what you told me. That picture you sent was of something called thermal expansion of the battery. You said the laptop was hot, right? She said yes. Your battery is expanded and is in danger of blowing out. If this happens while you're using it, it can lead to severe burns on your hands. Lithium fires are no joke. Okay, I will go ahead and shut it down when I'm done with this client. I mute the mic. Do the words laptop fire carry no sense of urgency with these people? Unmutes mic. I do not believe it can wait that long. This is kind of a do or die situation, and that may not be a figure of speech given the circumstances. Okay, I will go ahead and unplug it and finish this loan on another computer. I submit a ticket to the purchasing for warranty/replacement and pull the call log. I submit the ticket numbers for mine, purchasing, and the call log, my boss letting him know the situation. I CC his boss and the CIO. I made sure they knew I did my job and that the user may decide to ignore me. Spoiler alert, she ignored me. 2 hours later, I'm notified that an investigation has been opened regarding my mishandling of the repair process and that disciplinary action may be handed down. I forward that email to my boss, who responds with the notes, call log and ticket numbers. 5 minutes later, the name on the investigation is changed to the manager's name. She continued to use it and it caught fire. Yes, I have pictures. No, I will not share. Edit, for those asking, the laptop caught fire and burned both the user and the customer. Let that sink in. You know exactly why I'm sparse with the details now. Holy crap! Imagine burning the client. Imagine ignoring IT, and surely if your keyboard is actually popping out of your laptop, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not using that anyway. Come on, man. This story is from Non-Misery. A ghost has possessed the machine. This story is from a few years back, while I was working overnight support for a hospital that was going live on a new medical record system. The night was pretty slow, and I was perusing the ticket system and stumbled upon something gold. Ticket title, there's a ghost in the computer. Issue description, the computer is possessed. It's typing cryptic messages without anyone using the keyboard. The words are nonsense. I think it's speaking in tongues. Given the slow night, I was more than happy to check out the demonically possessed computer in person. I grabbed my crucifix and holy water and ventured out of the IT department to the hospital floor. Upon arrival, the nurses directed me to the unholy workstation. True to form, the computer was writing on its own. Clean, but problem. The nurse turned to me with contented validation that her ticket was accurate. The computer was really speaking in tongues. I smiled back and saw the issue immediately, but decided to have a little fun. Don't worry, Mum, I ain't afraid of no ghost. I reached around to the back of the workstation and unplugged the dictation microphone that some physician had left on. With that, the computer stopped documenting random ambient noise as text and went back to functioning normally. Demon exorcised. I head back to my IT basement to await more devils to slay. This story is from Holtenberg. Wait, you restart the computer by closing and opening the lid? Oh geez, User comes into my office complaining of a real slow machine. Chrome is slow, Word is slow, everything is slow, and computer is pretty hot. I was finishing up a draft of something real quick, don't remember what. I say, could you save and close everything down and restart the computer for me please? The user says, of course, sure. Not even a minute later, she closed everything and restarted the machine and hands me the machine. The restart of the machine went surprisingly quick considering that the user was here for a slow machine. User proceeds to give me the machine. I said, did you restart the machine? The user said, yes. I found it odd, so I decided to check the process monitor and oh god, I lost count of how many Chromes I saw, how many winword.exe and everything else I saw. CPU 100%, RAM 100%. Just a curious question, how do you restart the computer normally? I close the lid and open it again, and then I come to the login screen. I tried to show her the right way to restart the computer, but it would not even turn off after 5+ minutes. I ended up force shutting down the computer, but explained it's the wrong way to reboot the computer, and why I had to do it. During reboot, I get a CPU fan error. Poor guy had worked so hard it had died. I guess because she never rebooted the machine, she never got the CPU fan error. User later tells me she had this machine for 2 years and never intentionally rebooted the machine the way I showed her, and only closed and opened the lid. After a new fan installed and a fresh installation, I could almost hear the machine thanking me. The computer must have restarted itself at least once, right? Or did she continuously postpone every cry for help? What do you think? Rest in peace, unknown fan, you did your best. Live your best life in the recycling centre. I actually know people that think restarting the computer is by turning the monitor on and off as well. It's like, oh god man, come on. Some people just shouldn't have computers. This story is from Bushcraft Hatchet. Unlimited replacement iPhones? Not. This story revolves around a site manager at a smaller site out of town. You know the type I'm talking about. He's the king of his small hill, and it is critically important that he has the latest and greatest everything, including his iPhone. Now, company policy is that you can ask your company-owned iPhone gets replaced every 2 years, but it's not good enough for our king of the small anthill. Manager says, I need to replace my iPhone. I say, what's wrong with it? Nothing, I just want it replaced with a newer model that just came out. I check his recent upgrade date. He just joined the company last year, so of course, we got him a brand new one 9 months ago. I'm sorry, we issued you with a new phone 9 months ago, and we only upgrade iPhones every 2 years. I will send you a copy of the policy if you wish to take it up with your boss. So I basically send him the employee handbook and list the page number and section of the phone policy. This might have been a bad move. Fast forward 2 weeks later. Manager says, I need to replace my phone, I just opened up a help desk ticket. Manager, we just went over this, we cannot replace your phone, you... And he cuts me off. You don't understand, it's damaged, I accidentally dropped it. Oh well, that's different. Policy states that the company will replace an accidentally damaged phone one time for the employee with regional manager's approval. Yes, and before you ask, I already have talked to the regional manager and he has approved the replacement. I am forwarding you in his email. Well now, that was odd of him to give me everything I need abiding to the very letter of the policy. Awfully suspicious. I document everything. We buy him the new iPhone model. Fast forward about 45 days. He says, I need to replace my phone. I just opened up a help desk ticket. Wait, what? You just got a new phone? Yeah, I know. I was walking through the rain and ran through the rain coming off the building in buckets and got the phone wet. Come to find out, for the second breakage of an iPhone, the employee is required to 1. Pay for half of the iPhone replacement cost. There's like $500 out of his own pocket. And 2. Add insurance to their phone that they reimburse the company for every month. In the event of it happening a third time, there will at least be insurance on the phone to handle the issue. He hit the roof when corporate HR called him directly with the news and set up his paycheck withdrawal. That was about 2 years ago, and he has never broken one or asked for a replacement yet. This story is from Kurt Ludwig. You will not speak to my tech that way. Years ago, I sort of managed escalations from a third-party call centre. What I mean is I worked for a company which contracted our first tier support for the call centre. I was the last stop before engineering got involved. We were open 9 AM till 8 PM, with only one senior tech on duty from 6 to 8 PM. The third party call centre was in Canada and we generally communicated over IM, Yahoo. I did say years ago. Female techs are fairly unusual even now, At the time the call centre had 2, both were very good, and I used to joke that I'd trade any 2 of the guys for another of the women. So one night after 6 PM I get a text from Tina, the more senior of the 2 female techs. She's got some guy on the phone who wants to talk to a man. He wouldn't tell her problem, wouldn't troubleshoot, just I want to talk to a man. Okay, I'll handle it, transfer him to me, and don't start another call. When I answer the phone he tries to launch into his issue, but I cut him right off and proceed to rip him a new one. How would you like it if somebody tried that stupid crap on your mother or wife or sister? Was about the nicest thing I said to him. To his credit, he stayed on the phone and took it all. Finally I laid it out. What we're going to do now is transfer you back to Tina. She will take care of your issue. When your problem is solved, you will apologise profusely for what you said before. You will explain that it's late and you were tired and you weren't thinking. Then, tomorrow you will do something very nice for a random stranger. And that's what we did. I stayed on the line while Tina took the call beaming with pride as she fixed this stupid simple issue in record time. He then made what sounded like a very sincere apology. I don't know if he actually did a random act of kindness, but I like to think he did. One of the comments below this is that guy is like the Liam Neeson of call centres. Fair play to the guy though. I hope you enjoyed today's stories, and if you did, as I mentioned at the start, hitting that like, that subscribe button, sharing around really helps me, so thank you so much. Even your time I'm really appreciative of, so thank you so much. You have a great day, take care now, goodbye.